مر الزمان تألقا وأضاء للدنيا طريقا مشرقا وهدى من الرحمن يهدينا به للصالحات وللمكارم والتقى هذا كتاب الله أعذب منهل أنعم به
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome back to the 12th part of this series where we are looking at the 40 hadith pertaining to the virtues and the rulings of the Qur'an. Today's hadith was narrated by ʿAbdullāh bin ʿAmr, who reported that the Prophet ﷺ said, يُقَالُ لِصَاحِبِ الْقُرْآنِ اقْرَأْ وَارْتَقِي وَرَتِّلْ كَمَا كُنْتَ تُرَتِّلُ فِي الدُّنْيَا. That it will be said to the companion of the Qur'an, read and rise and recite with tartīl in a measured pace, in an unhurried manner, just as you used to recite with tartīl in the dunya. فَإِنَّ مَنْزِلَكَ عِنْدَ آخِرِ آيَةٍ تَقْرَأُهَا. Because your level in paradise will be according to the amount of verses that you have read, meaning what you have memorized in this dunya. And this is an authentic hadith reported in Abu Dawood and Tirmidhi and other books of hadith. So let's look at this hadith inshallah very quickly. يُقَالُ لِصَاحِبِ الْقُرْآنِ. It will be said to the companion of the Qur'an. And the companion of the Qur'an is the one who learns the Qur'an, reflects upon its meanings and acts upon it, even though he might not even be someone who has memorized the entire Qur'an. It could be in fact that a person can be Sahib al-Qur'an and he hasn't memorized the whole Qur'an, whereas you can have another person who has memorized the entire Qur'an but he is not Sahib al-Qur'an, a companion of the Qur'an. Because the companion of the Qur'an is the one who truly allows the Qur'an to impact him in his life, and he has learnt its meanings even though he might not have memorized it. But the ideal Sahib al-Qur'an is the one who has memorized it in entirety, and he is someone who reflects upon its meanings and acts upon it. So it will be said to the companion of the Qur'an. When will it be said? This is upon entrance into paradise. When he enters into Jannah, it will be said to him, اقرأ وارتقي. Read and rise. Meaning, every time he recites something from the Qur'an, his level in Jannah will go even higher. وَرَتِّلْ كَمَا كُنْتَ تُرَتِّلُ فِي الدُّنْيَا. But recite with tartīl. And reciting with tartīl means to recite in an unhurried manner, in a well-paced manner, in a measured out manner, without being too hasty in one's recitation. Just as you used to recite in the dunya, which means that the people of the Qur'an, they will be those who in this dunya, they recited with tartīl, which establishes the virtue of reciting with tartīl in this dunya. That we don't recite it in a quick and manner without realizing what we are saying. Rather, we recite in a well-paced manner, in a measured manner, so that we can reflect upon its meanings. وَرَتِّلْ كَمَا كُنْتَ تُرَتِّلُ فِي الدُّنْيَا فَإِنَّ مَنْزِلَكَ. Why? Because your status in paradise will be according to what? Your level in paradise will be according to what you have memorized from the Qur'an. And this is why the scholars, they said that the amount of levels in paradise are in accordance with the amount of ayat in the Qur'an. And there are approximately just over 6,000 ayat in the Qur'an. So they said there are 6,000 levels within Jannah. So the more Qur'an you have memorized and learnt, the higher your level will be in paradise. We should really push us to learn the Qur'an and to memorize as much of it as we possibly can. Many people question, what is the point of memorizing the Qur'an? If I don't understand it. But no, still try as much as you can to memorize it, because this could be possibly said to you, subhanallah, when you are in paradise. At-Tibi, one of the great scholars of Islam, when he spoke about this hadith, he mentioned that although they will be reciting Qur'an, their recitation of the Qur'an will be something very natural, like the tasbih is for the malaika in paradise. And so it will not distract them from the enjoyment of paradise, rather it will be the greatest form of enjoyment for the people of paradise, to recite the Qur'an. And so, alhamdulillah, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He makes us of those who really learn the Qur'an and memorize as much as they possibly can, so that it will be said to them when they enter into paradise, read and recite in that well-measured way, just as you used to recite in the dunya. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from amongst them. And inshallah, in the next lesson, or the next episode, we will look at the virtue of an abandoned practice, really, the virtue of listening to the Qur'an directly from somebody else. And we will look at a very moving and powerful hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. So tune in for that episode, inshallah ta'ala. Barakallahu feekum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
مر الزمان تألقا وأضاء للدنيا طريقا مشرقا وهدى من الرحمن يهدينا به للصالحات وللمكارم والتقى نور على مر الزمان تألقا.